Alright, so it is that time again because Edge of Fate literally launches next week, and there is quite a few just little bits that I want to talk to people about and just get my opinion out there and just overall bring my point of view to attention, I guess, because there are some major things coming to the game next week. And I'm just going to start off by saying this: if you are looking for a final shape level expansion, then you are automatically setting yourself up to fail, because that's just not going to be the case. And I think we just need to accept that immediately from the beginning. So when I say that there's a lot coming to the Edge of Fate next week, I mean systematically. I've already made a video on my point of view a few days ago that was mainly talking about the campaign, the lore, the narrative direction, Kepler as a location, exotic weapons, all that sort of stuff. And I deliberately moved systems to one side. I just didn't even really talk about systems because as far as I'm concerned, and I still believe in this opinion, your system update is not a Edge of Fate expansion update. That's just a large update that you're shipping alongside Kepler, alongside new exotic weapons, alongside the Edge of Fate expansion, right? If you want to hear more about that opinion, go check that video out. But yeah, I want to start off just by saying that we also don't need a Destiny 3. For a lot of people that say we need a Destiny 3, it's just simply not true, because next week and the amount that's happening, it may as well just be the equivalent of a Destiny 3, because the entire game is undergoing a huge reset. And I've deliberately got Bungie's developer livestream playing in the background as I shoot this video, because I just want to raise on a few points here, just starting with the portal. So the portal is already a huge update. We already know that Bungie have poured a lot of their dev time into the portal. The whole point of the portal is to keep everything in one space, whereby you as a new player or even a veteran player can go to the portal and quickly access content without getting confused. Or just even, because right now in the game, an exotic quest comes out or you need to go and pick up something. You don't know which planet you have to go to start that exotic quest if you're a brand new player. You're seeing all these icons for the very first time and you're like, what the hell does this even mean? So I think the whole point of the portal is mainly catered towards brand new players. So yeah, I think generically the portal is just going to be a very beneficial thing for new players. It doesn't really do much for veteran players. I think veteran players like myself, we really enjoy the destinations page. And yes, it is a little bit upsetting how Kepler, the actual planetary destination icon, is not going to be on the destination page. You're only going to be able to access that from the portal. But that's a very small thing. It's not a massive deal, but it is still a little bit frustrating. But as you can see here on stream, everything is going to be accessed from the portal. Pretty much most of your important stuff, all of your quest objectives, all of your main POVs when it comes to story mission campaigns and everything like that, that is all done through the portal now. Just one confined place, all done through here. That's actually quite a huge update. That's not a quick thing. The fact that you're able to manage all of that from just one place is absolutely insane. That entire system alone is already like a brand new main menu for a game. Pretty much. The fact that you can enhance modifiers for strikes that you do and different type of missions that you can get, better tier loot as well, really just shows you what steps you need to take in order to get better loot. And then when you get that better loot, you then know automatically, okay, what extra bits do I need to do now that I've got this better loot to get even better loot again? So I think visually, from a visual perspective, it is just generically a positive thing. The portal really did hit the nail on the head, and I am quite excited to get my hands on that. And that's why I'm saying we don't need a Destiny 3, because a lot of this stuff that we're getting in the Edge of Fate is basically Destiny 3, to be honest, expansion aside. The only thing that I think that's going to hurt Bungie when it comes to pouring a lot of dev time into a new player experience, when it comes to developing things like the portal, is the player interest. You're not really gonna get new players to play your game just because you've updated the UI. They need something in terms of longevity. They need something in terms of consistency to keep on coming back. And let's be honest, the reputation of Bungie isn't the most amazing. People aren't going to go, oh, I'm going to dive back into Destiny because there's a UI update. They're probably going to go, it's a Bungie game. I know Bungie generically doesn't have the most amazing reputation. Do I really want to dive into that again? And, you might disagree with that opinion. However, it is just simply facts that people have that mindset. That mindset exists in certain people in the world. And that's fine. However, I just don't want a lot of the developer time for the game that I love and the game that I play to be the reason why we don't get amazing content. You know what I mean? I don't want all of the dev time going towards an experience that doesn't necessarily benefit me in the long run, because as a veteran player, I know where to go to access certain things. I know what to do to obtain certain things. I know how to get to where I want to be, because I've been playing the game for a very long time. I hope the portal doesn't take up too much of that time, because ultimately at the end of the day, regardless of how great your UI looks, we want a good game, right? We want to keep on coming back. Moving on from that, we also have the armor update. Now, this is huge. This completely overhauls everything that we know and love about the armor system that we have in the game. So, triple 100 stats, everything to do with stat changes and stat debuffs and stat buffs, completely gone. And, well, when I say gone, I mean rearranged, reiterated, revamped, right? Because we now have Armor 3.0. The system actually looks different. The stat names are different. The tiering is different. The amount of mods that you can actually apply to your armor here is completely different. It's actually insane how in depth this goes, and this is not going to be a quick thing. And again, this is the whole reason as to why I'm saying we don't even really need a Destiny 3, because the amount that we're getting with Edge of Fate alongside Edge of Fate is basically a whole new game. Even as veteran players, the amount of testing and learning that we're going to need to do to understand all of this so that we have a real deep intrinsic knowledge of everything that we're seeing on screen right now is not going to be an overnight thing. Obviously, you're going to get people learn quicker than others. Obviously, that's absolutely fine. And I can imagine there's going to be various creators online that are going to be posting tutorials and help people understand more how to, benefit from this new armor system. Again, that's fine. However, this is a whole new revamped system. So we're going to need to learn from the ground up. Okay, this means this, that means that. Because we no longer have mobility, recovery, and intellect. We've now got weapon, grenade. I mean, it says right there. So you've got health, melee, grenade, superclass, and weapon. The point that I'm making is that there is a lot. And, we used to strive to try and get triple 100 stats. Every single build that I pretty much use in the game has triple 100 stats catered towards the playstyle that I want to go. Whether or not it's Strand PvP, or Stasis PvP, or PvP Prismatic, or PvE Warlock Prismatic. Whatever it is, I try to aim to have triple 100 stats in the appropriate columns that I want them to be in. That is no longer going to be a thing. Say goodbye to your triple 100 stats, because now the stat total boost goes all the way up to 200. And on top of that, the armor that you put on in the game, depending on when the armor was released, gives you a stat bonus as well. If you have four set pieces or 2 set pieces, it gives you an overall stat bonus, which is something we've never had before. So there's a lot here that I'm not going to dive too deep on, but even just from you guys looking at the screen literally right now, you can see that it is different. This is a whole new change. This isn't just an update. This is like a rework, to be honest with you. And moving on from that now, we also have weapon tiering. So this may as well be Weapons 3.0, to be honest with you, because now they've taken a bit of an inspiration from Pokemon. And if you're into Pokemon, you know what I mean with holofoils, because the higher tier weapon drop that you get, the better the weapon. And what does that look like? That looks like actual skins that are applied to the weapon. So right now, what you're seeing on screen, this is a maximum tiered weapon, and you can see that it's shining. It's got like a holofoil effect. It looks like a weapon that you go, shit, that's actually decent. And it's got columns everywhere. It's got literally 3 sets of traits here, which is insane. We've never had that before. Again, this is a rework to the weapons tiering too. The whole thing is basically changing. A brand new UI update, a brand new armor update, brand new weapon update is going to give people more of a reason to jump in, understand all of the new systems, have that kind of refreshed mindset of, okay, ignore everything that I know in the past. We have now factory reset ourselves. We're starting from 10. And what do I mean by 10? I mean power level 10, because if you guys haven't watched the stream, all of our power levels get nerfed all the way down to power level 10. And to be honest with you, saying nerf is actually a little bit of a misleading term to use, because we're not essentially being nerfed. They're just capping the level and everything's kind of being brought right down, right? Because the power grind is just absolutely insane. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. As you can see on the right hand side now, the amount of weapon stats that we've got is such an insane amount. Blast radius, velocity, stability, handling, reload speed, aim assist, zoom, airborne effectiveness, ammo generation, rounds per minute, magazine size, the whole lot. There's a lot of numbers on the screen, a lot of stats to take into consideration, learn and understand, to fully just understand what type of Guardian you want to build. And I love that. The more information that I get as the player, the more I love this system, and that's exactly what this does. I'm actually all for the weapon tiering system. I'm actually a Pokemon fan in my personal life as well. I like to shiny hunt Pokemon. I might even be doing that when Legends ZA comes out later this year. I might stream that, I don't know. But anyway, I love the fact that I can get shiny holo foils of my weapons. I am the type of guy that will grind an activity over and over and over and over to get exactly what I want. I am very persistent, I am very consistent, and I am very stubborn. So if I want a holo foil maximum tiered weapon with all the correct perks that I want on that gun, I will be farming until there is no tomorrow to get my hands on that, because that's the type of player that I am, and that is the type of Destiny player that you should be, to be honest with you. If you're a Destiny 1 player, that's what we were all like. Obviously, everything's a little bit lenient now because Destiny 2 is a completely different game to Destiny 1 now, but yeah, that's exactly, I'm coming from a Destiny 1 background, so of course I've got that mindset. Pretty much most Destiny 1 veterans have that mindset anyway, so the fact that we're getting pretty much a hard reset on everything just gives me a complete, clean, refreshed mindset opportunity to just keep on going with it. And actually, this is a good segue right now, because you can see on the left it says weapon cosmetics. If you get a maximum tier weapon as well, it gives you certain like visual effects when you actually kill targets as well, which is insane. I absolutely love that. Finisher effects on targets when you get your final blow on that enemy is gonna look so damn gorgeous, and I cannot wait to see how far they actually take that. Like, I don't know, a solar effect or a stasis effect, or just something, because I'm a stasis main, so obviously I would say stasis. But yeah, I am genuinely excited for that. And again, this isn't a small update. This is such a huge thing, such a huge rework, a huge revamp. Is that going to make your previous weapons obsolete though? That was one of the main questions that people had. If you're doing all of this to armor, if you're doing all of this to weapons, will that make my stuff obsolete? Bungie have come out on Twitter and said no. That it won't make your armor obsolete, it won't make your weapons obsolete, but obviously if you do get the higher tier weapons, obviously that's going to be beneficial for you because they are statistically better stuff. However, if you wanted to take the stuff that you've got right now in the game into the Edge of Fate, you can do that. You'll have a worse time than everyone else. However, you'll still be able to complete the stuff you wanted to complete. It's just going to be a little bit harder for you. And maybe if you like that challenge, go ahead. I personally like the challenge. I'm obviously going to be taking some of my older gear into the Edge of Fate. I've got some god rolls I want to try out with the new content. So yeah. Speaking of god rolls though, and speaking of new content, we also have the testing firing range. And this is something that we have all been asking for since the Menagerie. If you guys have been around since the Menagerie, we absolutely loved going into the game and just testing out all of the damage numbers and what works well with this, what works best with that, and just actually getting a core knowledgeable understanding of, yes, this is where I want that to be. And I love the fact that we actually have that now in the firing range, built into the tower. The convenience and the quality of life to this is just 10 out of 10. It's absolutely insane. I don't want to ramble on too much in this video. However, I just wanted to make both those three major points very clear, because there's a lot coming with the Edge of Fate, and I genuinely think it's going to refresh and revamp and kind of reimagine a lot of people's mindset when it comes to clicking play on Destiny 2. But anyway, let's not get carried away though. Let me just rein it back in just a little bit and say that all of these positive things that are coming to Destiny 2 literally next week, literally 7 days as I record this video, all of these positive, amazing things, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Edge of Fate is going to be the most amazing thing ever. I started this video by saying that if you're at the final shape level of expectation, you are immediately setting yourself up to fail, because that is not what this is going to be. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Edge of Fate can be bad. The actual expansion itself, I'm not going to talk too much about, because again, I made a separate video and you guys are more than welcome to go and check that out. However, systematically, I think it's in a fantastic position. I think the actual core game that is Destiny, when it gets this complete overhaul and this complete change literally in 7 days time, I think that is already a positive, amazing thing, and I cannot wait to check that out. And the reason why I said literally just a moment ago that I want to rein it in a little bit is because that doesn't mean that Destiny 2 Edge of Fate expansion is good. All the system stuff, amazing. All of the quality life stuff, amazing. Armor 3.0, weapon tiering, amazing. Love that. However, that is not what the core expansion of what the Edge of Fate is. It's not a brand new location. It's not a brand new story-driven saga. It's not brand new exotics or anything like that. That all comes in the package of an expansion. Quality of life UI updates, that's a separate thing that is so big that you're rolling it out with the Edge of Fate. I just don't want people to get carried away and think that Edge of Fate is bigger than what it actually is, when in actual fact, these systems at some point, regardless of Edge of Fate, probably was going to happen anyway because it needed to happen. So yeah, I'm going to throw it back to you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What is your opinion of the systems? What is your opinion of the portal? What would you add? What would you change? And overall, I just want to understand your opinion of Destiny and what you think it's going to be like. And if you're a returning player of Destiny, or if you're thinking about returning, does this make you want to jump back into the game? Your opinion is the one I want to read out most, to be honest with you. But yeah, guys, again, like I said, I'll throw it back to you. I'll see you guys in the comment section below. Have a fantastic day wherever you are. And guys, just thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.